Okay, so today we're going to continue our learning about the solar system and things that impact where we live. So we can see that nature is changing all the time whenever we come up on new seasons. So right now, we are in the season of fall, correct? Yes. So today we're going to be discussing the four seasons. So living here in Colorado, we get the luxury of experiencing all four seasons. So who can tell me what one of the four seasons is? All right, we got summer. All right, I just said it. It's fall, correct, good. All right, over there, spring. And our last one, winter. So, who can tell me what some characteristics of summer are? So at this time, my students would go through each one of the seasons and explain some characteristics that they see in nature that are changing. Like, for example, in fall, the leaves change colors. In winter, it snows. So we're going to go through a few of those things. So in summer, we see that it's hot. Okay, in fall, the leaves change. And in the spring, it kind of rains a little bit. Sometimes it's, getting out of that snow. In winter, it does snow. And it's very cold. All right, so can anybody tell me why the seasons change and why some parts of the earth do not get to have the seasons change? In some places, like Arizona, it's warm most of the time. So in places like Alaska, it's really cold all the time. So who has any idea of why they might not have as many seasons as we do? Right, because they're farther or closer to the equator. So we have an equator. And this is our Earth, and the equator goes right through the middle of it. But the Earth is not just straight up and down, right? It has a tilt. Okay, so this is the tilted axis. Okay, and we have the equator that goes right through the middle of it. Okay, so we're going to watch a quick video that is going to, you can sing along, you can dance, you can get up out of your seats and move. You can do whatever you'd like, but pay attention because this stuff is going to help you on your worksheets. And it kind of just talks about the tilt of the earth and everything else. So let's get started. Okay, I'm going to have to watch this on the phone because I can't get the whiteboard to work.
Yo, I know the seasons, spring, summer, winter, fall. When it's sunny, I love it. When it's cold, I'm miserable. But I don't really know what makes the seasons come and go. And come to think about it, I really want to know. I know the sun is out there with Earth in orbit. And Earth is tilted on its axis. That's important. The axis is like a line that goes all the way through the Earth from north to south pole. So, does the Earth travel farther from the sun, which makes it so much colder in the winter weather months?
No. Let's clear up some misconceptions, and then we'll tackle these seasonal questions. Distance from the sun doesn't cause the seasons. The angle of the sun's rays is the reason. When sunlight hits the Earth head on, that's direct sunlight and it's really strong. And when it hits at an angle that's indirect, then the heat and light, we get less of it. Because of this tilt for part of the year, half of Earth has more direct sun, more heat, and longer days, whereas the half that's tilted away gets indirect rays and colder short days. The months of direct sun are the summer months, and when it gets cold, that's winter coming up. We call this Mother Earth, but our sun's the mother, delivering direct sunlight in the summer and indirect sunlight during winter days. The seasons are made by the angle of the rays. We call this Mother Earth, but our sun's the mother, delivering direct sunlight in the summer and indirect sunlight during winter days. The seasons are made by the angle of the rays. The top half of the Earth is the northern hemisphere, and the bottom half is the southern hemisphere. And when one half is tilted toward the sun, the other half is tilted away.
How come? Does the tilt of the Earth change?
No, Earth's tilt doesn't change. It stays the same. But as the Earth moves around the sun, each hemisphere takes a turn being the one to get direct rays and days that last while it's winter in the other hemisphere. These are facts. And spring and fall are just the transitions in between the summer and the winter. The equator is a line that circles the Earth. at its center, at its widest girth, is the band around the planet that's always feeling direct sunlight no matter the season. So there aren't really seasons at the equator. Check out the year's temperature on graph paper. It's pretty much the same, but at the poles they ain't playing. That's where the most drastic seasonal changes. In the Arctic in summer, the sun will never set, and during the winter night time never ends. They're called midnight sun and polar night respectively, with the tilt of the earth's impressing me. We call this Mother Earth, but our sun's the mother, delivering direct sunlight in the summer and indirect sunlight during winter days. The seasons are made by the angle of the rays. We call this Mother Earth, but our sun's the mother, delivering direct sunlight in the summer and indirect sunlight during winter days. The seasons are made by the angle of the rays.
All right, so now we have a little bit of an explanation for why some places don't get the seasons, right? So it talked about the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. So who can tell me what happens? Like, this is the sun and we're going to rotate around like this, okay? So the tilt doesn't ever change, right? Right, so it just keeps rotating around and around and around. So who can tell me one thing that they learned from the video? All right, so at this time, I would have my students take some time to discuss what they learned. Okay, so now think, pair, share with a partner, and tell each other one fact that you learned that you didn't know before today. So at this time, students would think, pair, share a little fact, and then I would call on each group to share one thing that they did not know before today. And I would write the key components up on the board. So I would erase some of this stuff, and I would write some of the key facts up on the board here, so when students are working on their worksheet, they would know what we talked about. So now I will pass out a worksheet that looks like this. Students are going to work on their, let's see. They're going to work on their worksheet. It's not popping up right now, but I would pass it out and I would have them work on it. And then once they're done with the worksheet, they would split up into groups and they would make either a PowerPoint or create their own description of how the Earth rotates around the sun. So they could either choose one of those two things, but they would have to figure it out. So I would split the groups up into 3, so each class or each group would have 3 students. Let's see if I can get the worksheet pulled up. Maybe not. Okay, let's see if I can get the worksheet to pop up. There it is. So I had some technical difficulties earlier today. So this is what the worksheet would look like. And students would have to label each of these parts and then answer the 4 questions below. For students with accommodations, I would help them fill out their worksheets, and I would kind of help them explain what the different seasons are, and then I would also pass out a visual that will let them see exactly where everything is labeled at, which would make it a little bit easier for them. But for English language learners, it's really important to have things like that. And that is my little lesson. So thanks for watching. Sorry, I had some technical difficulties when I tried to do this and my speakers wouldn't work, so I had to do it on my phone and then show you off of another computer. But that's just my mini lesson, and I think it would be a lot better if I had students actually in the classroom who could answer these questions and have more discussion, which would make it a little bit longer. So thanks for watching.